Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Spiritual Growth Sessions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Share it with somebody who it will resonate with this message. Let's talk about being stuck or feeling stuck in spirituality, in your spirituality. Let's talk about those times when you just feel disconnected and you feel frustrated and you feel resentful, or you can't accept a certain situation, because that's where I was at for a while. And honestly, I didn't know how much I was in that situation until after the fact. I had my spiritual awakening in February of 2020, and it was freaking amazing. Felt like I was levitating for like 12 days. It was a trip. Oh, mind opened up. Everything was possible. It was the raddest shit ever. If you've had one, you understand how amazing they are. But as time goes on, I started realizing that I was becoming more and more selective of what I deemed true in spirituality, what I deemed to be real in spirituality. So if I believed manifestation was true, then, I would have for that on another side that, past lives or being reincarnated wasn't true. I would pick and select. I had a very closed mind at what felt right for me was actually me passing judgment on other people's views, instead of having an open mind and seeing the possibilities of all ideas and knowledge and wisdom, instead of thinking my way is the best, which is what I realized later is what I was doing. And I started getting frustrated with a lot of things in my life, and I started not accepting them, and there was a lot of resistance and a lot of, I got sick for a little while, and I just started feeling disconnected. I just kind of I didn't have that same feeling that I had when I had my awakening. And, it went up and down and in February of this last year and for a while. And still I feel pretty connected, but not like I did. And I started to wonder, am I ever going to feel connected? And I would have conversations with my wife and wonder why where is this lack of connection? What is going on? Have I been shown everything that's going to be shown to me? Is this the most I'm going to see? And do you see how much of this is forced, and how much of this is not going with the flow and putting up blocks and using a closed mind? I mean, all of these things were I don't want to say holding me back, because I truly believe that it's actually, they were lessons that I needed to learn. And, about a month and a half ago, I was walking down the street, and it was a beautiful day in San Diego, and I was in my neighborhood, and I saw a human, a human, and I was looking at them, and I started to have this expansive moment of a deep realization that life is not random, that life is not meaningless. Now, I knew this already, but this is that was surface level shit. This was depth. And I was looking at them, and I started to feel not like their soul, but like their essence, like who they were, and how much inherent value that person has, and how they were put here for a reason. And I started to expand. Like, I started to go deep into this, like, real deep connection. And it was almost like my mind wasn't ready for it, or it was too deep, so it like cut me off. And I was like, whoa, that was weird. That was crazy. That was rad. But what the hell was that? And I was like, oh my gosh, that was crazy. Okay. So, I kind of go on about about week passes, and I'm walking down the street in my neighborhood again. I'm with my daughter. I'm cruising along, and I got my AirPod Pros in the middle of the day, and I'm just cruising along in my neighborhood, and I'm walking past a house I've walked past hundreds of times. But this time it was different. This time I walked by, and there was this beautiful gray-coated, furry, older looking dog that was just perched on the ground right in front of me in their yard, kind of just looking at me like this. And this dog was huge. I mean, it was a very big dog. I mean, I don't know that much about animals or dog size, but I mean, it was a massive dog. It looked like it weighed 150, 180 pounds, something. But it was looking at me, and I looked at the dog, and it was like this connection with this beautiful, majestic creature. And it was just a moment of like, of just seeing that the inherent value in everything that's alive, and the deep value of everything that's alive on earth. And that was another quick moment where it went away. It was like my mind wasn't ready, but it was on the cusp. Like I was on to something. Something was about to be shown to me. And I've tried to walk by and see that dog multiple times. Of course, I'm sure it's still there, but I walk by, it's on the way to my kid's school. I do that walk all the time. I've yet to see the dog again. And hopefully I will. It's a beautiful, beautiful creature. And so I started having these kind of breakthroughs, these moments. And fast forward to about 3 weeks ago, I was in the kitchen and my boys were in the living room and they're watching TV, and I'm texting with my wife, and she knows how much I've struggled. I think I may have mentioned this, but she knows I've struggled with feeling connected and feeling frustrated, and she said we've had really deep conversations about it. So she's really aware of what's going on, and I'm texting her and I start telling her about like how I'm starting to have these moments, these like almost like epiphanies, these aha, like deep understanding of that there's something more going on, even more than I knew. And so I am texting with her and talking about it. And as I'm talking to her, I look over at my children, 2 beautiful boys, ages 4 and 6. One's got long golden hair. The other one's just this adorable freckled, shaved head, brown haired kid. And I'm looking at them and I'm texting with her, and I'm telling her about what I've been experiencing, and that I feel like I feel like I'm about to have a breakthrough. And then while looking at them, the breakthrough came. And it was like, as I was texting it, the expansiveness and the deepness, and I even text this to my wife while we were doing it. I'm like, I'm having it, like it's happening right now. Like the moment that I was talking about is happening right now. And it was a complete deep understanding of, I can't come up with a better word than depth of our lives and our existence. And that we aren't some random species that came about through evolution, floating on a ball randomly through space. Like this was all, there's something divine, there's something guiding us. And it wasn't even a question, it was just being shown to me. It was crazy in all the best ways. And I started to really understand that there is a purpose behind our lives. With my spiritual awakening, I was on the surface. I'd been shown something and it felt so deep, but I was just on the surface. With this next one that came, I got depth and I got down low, and inside of me expanded. And I came to understand something that I'd realized that I'd kind of been denying my whole life, and even through my spiritual awakening, I had lost touch with that. There was something so much great, like something that's incomprehensible. And it was like, okay, now your time. You've been through these challenges. You've been through these tests. Now you're gonna be shown something even deeper. And it was just like my awakening, except it was more profound, more impactful, more mind-opening. And I started to understand that we are so powerful, that we are capable of so much, and that we are limitless in what we can do. And I started to connect with this deep understanding that if we are souls on this planet and that we're put here and there's something larger at play, it made me feel like I was in a fucking, what do they call it? I'll think of the word in a minute, but it was basic. Anyways, so if we're sitting here, a simulation, made me feel like I was in a simulation for a minute. It was a trip. Like I was like, well, what the hell is this guy? If it's the universe, it was crazy. But anyways, it made me realize that like, you really can, like if what's being shown to me is true, and of course it's true. It was I know it through the depths of my soul. Then you can make this life what you want to make it. You are here for a reason. You are here for a purpose, and I knew that, but now I know it. It's so much. It's like it's just all up in me. And so my question and what I want to say to you is, if you're struggling in your spiritual path, if you're feeling stuck, it's okay. If I could go back and tell myself, I would say like this, there's lessons that you need to learn. Maybe there is more growth that needs to happen. Maybe it's just not time yet. And when the time happens, it will feel perfect. But understand that your growth and your spirituality it's never stops. It's still moving forward, even when it feels like you're taking steps back. I thought I was taking steps back until this started happening. And I realized all of that was for a reason. And I was moving forward the whole time. And if you're struggling on your path, it's the same for you too. I'm not special. I'm not unique. This is people talk about this, but I needed to experience it to truly understand it. I needed lessons to be learned. I needed, some challenges to overcome, to be stripped down of ego and my closed-mindedness, and finally start being shown and being open to all possibilities about spirituality, because I don't know shit. And that's what's the thing is, I don't know shit. But I was acting like I did. And this allowed me to take those walls down and be like, this is all possibility. All of this, past lives, whatever it is, it's all possibility. Who am I to make the call that it's not? And once that opened up, everything fucking opened up. Give yourself some time. Give yourself some grace. I'm telling you, the universe has a plan for you. Just keep moving forward. Sometimes you look at other people and it goes by a lot quicker. And sometimes it goes slower, but that's the plan. Trust. Have faith. Keep your head up. And remember, we're one of the blessed ones. We're one of the people who at least is on a spiritual journey. Some people look their whole lives for it. So be grateful and keep pushing forward. Hope to see you next week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you guys for another episode of the Spiritual Growth Sessions. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Deuces.